Hello, I'm Melissa and this is Meliabella Knits, which is a vlog where I set knitting goals for myself and then check in sometime later to let you know if I was successful or not. So this is broadcasting on my YouTube channel. I do hope that you will subscribe by clicking down there. You can also select the bell to get alerts for when I post or if I'm doing a live broadcast, which I do hope to do in the future. So if you follow me on Instagram, you know that earlier today I did a live broadcast that I tried to also record on my YouTube channel using the YouTube app, and I failed miserably. So I upgraded my data card for my Canon and bought a tripod, and we're gonna give it a go this way. So I'm gonna just let you guys know where I'm at. So the last time I recorded, I was working on what I'm calling my Clog Socks, and I finished my first pair, and they're a little bit wonky because I've been wearing them constantly. So these are my Clog Socks. I knit these out of Miss Babs in the Rhinebeck 2017 colorway, and I loved knitting them. I used less than a third of a skein, so I have a ton of yarn left over, which I'm really excited to use for a few different projects. I'm working on a couple of blankets, which, if you know me at all, knitting blankets isn't really my forte, but I love knitting barn raising squares, so I'm going to knit one of those. And then I've also started a Bits and Bobs pile, which is a pattern by Kay Jones of Bakery Bears. And my daughter Ella is also working on one of those, so I'm excited to start getting my yarn together for that project. But back to the socks. So this is just a really simple pattern that I came up with. It's a really short cuff and traditional heel and toe right through to the bottom. But the reason I designed these was because I'm really enjoying wearing these new Levi stretch skinny jeans from Target, and all of my socks are traditionally about 7 inches in the cuff, or a 5-inch cuff, 2.5-inch cuff, 2.5-inch heel, and then into the bottom of the sock. So really tall socks for my huge size 11 women's feet. With skinny jeans, that doesn't really work, for me anyway, because they're underneath the jeans and it's all bulky and it looks terrible, or they're over the jeans and it's like I'm reliving 1992, which, being almost 40, I don't think is a good idea. So even if the 90s are back, I don't think they should be back for me. So I decided to just design this, and I'm gonna put this up in my Ravelry pattern store in the next day or two. It'll be really, really affordable, like $2, almost nothing. So if you're interested in also knitting some clog socks for yourself, I encourage you to do so. I really enjoy wearing them with my Danskos because I can just slide them on and they're super comfy, and there's nothing more comfortable than hand knit socks. So I definitely encourage you to give them a go. These are just on my sock blockers from the Loopy U, which are my very favorite. But I am excited to wash my socks this weekend. I have about 20 pair that need a laundering, so I'll definitely be doing that on Sunday. And these will get washed so I can wear them again soon. But because I enjoy those socks so much, I've already cast on for another pair. I don't know the name of this yarn. I know that I picked it up at Yarn Haven in Perrysburg, Ohio, where a few of my knitting friends live. It was dyed by, I believe, one of the owners, but I don't know what she calls her yarn. I bought this a few years ago and I was using it for a very textured design, and it was flashing and pooling, which I don't mind, but in some textures it kind of disappears. So I definitely didn't want to use it for that design, so I decided to use it for these clog socks. So this is sock number 1, and I'm on the toe decreases, and I love how it flashed and pooled. It's so fun. The reason I bought this yarn is because it reminds me of a sunset, so I really, really enjoy it. And I've got one of my little progress keepers on there. I make progress keepers and sell them on Etsy. My shop is www.meliabella.etsy.com. So I'm going to be offering free shipping starting on December 1st for purchases that are $15 minimum. So that will also include international shipping as free. So definitely check them out. I have some holiday markers and then some more traditional metal markers like this leaf here. So that's my progress on this one. I'm gonna finish this sock tonight and cast on for the second one sometime tomorrow. I've got a few meetings I have to attend for my son, and then my daughter has a swim meet in the evening, and so that's where this next project comes in. So if you've been watching, in the last episode I mentioned that I'm doing a test knit for Kirsten Kapoor, who's one of my friends but also an amazing designer. She has a pattern coming out called September House, which is a sweater, and she needed to have the yardage checked, and so the pattern is flawless so far, absolutely. Her test knitters and tech editors are amazing, but I'm just checking yardage like I said, and so I have that in my Fat Squirrel bag, which I bought at Rhinebeck during Needles Up, and I have a few enamel pins, which are a new obsession for me. I bought these ones just at Michael's using one of those weekly 50% off coupons, but I had to get the bicycle because it matched the bag and my bicycle, and then I love coffee, so I had to get the little coffee cup, and then this one says, but first coffee. I kind of fell down on Etsy this week and ordered quite a few enamel pins because, you know, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, free shipping, couldn't help myself. I know, it's terrible. Another addiction, right? So I've made quite a lot of progress. I have finished the body of my September house. I actually did an extra inch on this. I have a longer torso, and so I just did an extra inch. I did do the shaping, which I love shaping in a sweater. It really just makes it very customized for your body, which I just love. I decided not to do the color work at the hem just because the previous sweater that I finished, Second Grace, had a color work at the hip, and so I decided to skip that on this sweater. So there's the body, and I have one sleeve done right here, and I think I did an extra ½ inch on mine. And then I'm on sleeve number 2, and I'm so close. I'm on the last repeat of the increases. So just gotta plug along after that, and my goal is to get this sleeve done tonight before bed. I did have to work late tonight, and it's gonna be a late night, but I'm gonna do it so that tomorrow when we travel for my daughter's swim meet, I can add the sleeves to the body before we hit the road, and then get on track with the yoke of that sweater so that I have something to work on the way to the swim meet, which is about an hour each way, and then the swim meet would, I think, be about 2 hours, maybe a little bit longer. So it'll give me something to do with my hands. So it's her first away meet, and she's a little nervous, so keeping me busy will keep me from getting nervous. The yarn I'm using is Shepherd's Wool, which is from Stonehenge Fiber Mill in Michigan. My best friend lives in Michigan, and I bought some of this yarn when I was visiting her. I'm knitting it in this beautiful gray color, which is pewter, and then this gold color, and I picked up a skein of this cream when we were at Rhinebeck this year. And these colors might look familiar if you follow Kirsten Kapoor on Instagram. She's Through the Loops. These are very similar to the colors she used in the one that she knit for her Rhinebeck sweater, and I just fell in love with it. And we have a lot of similar coloring. We have the same hair color, and I believe the same eye color. And it looked really great on her, and so I decided to copy her, which, what do they say? Imitation is the most sincerest form of flattery. I'm gonna go with it. So I'm excited for this. I'm definitely going to have this done by the next time I record. I'm hoping to record again in about a week. I would really like to have this sweater done, to have the second pair of the Clog Socks done, and cast on for my Christmas socks, which, let me just grab that yarn. I totally forgot to grab it before I sat down to record. So I have a couple of acquisitions. Excuse my phone. I got my last shipment about 2 weeks ago from Life in the Long Grass, which is in Ireland, and this is my third skein, and I'm so excited. I went online to sign up for the Winter Club and had an absolute nightmare snafu. I decided to use my regular bank card, this was going to be my Christmas gift to myself rather than a credit card or my PayPal, and it was 7 p.m. at night and I was flagged for fraud, which froze my bank account and made it so that I couldn't buy the club. And then by the time I had it resolved, I missed all the spaces. So I was heartbroken. The good news is I have plenty of yarn, so I'm not in need. It was just a want and I'm sad. So I'm hoping to get into the spring club, but this was the autumn club 3rd shipment and it's called Fireworks. And I just love her colors. They're so pretty. Lots of speckles. I also placed an order with Nomadic Yarns and I purchased 2 skeins. The first skein is a sport weight and it's called the Potions Master. And this had Snape and Slytherin written all over it. So I'm trying to decide. I don't want to waste any yarn. So usually I would do my typical sock with, you know, a 7-inch cuff, but I'm wearing clog socks mostly now. So I could use a 1/3 of the skein and make clog socks, but then what do I do with the rest? So I'm thinking of doing maybe some fingerless mitts because that would be fun. I'm unsure, so, you know, just do me a favor and in the comments, let me know what you think I should do. Like I said, I really want some clog socks, but maybe I could knit 2 pairs of socks, a pair of clog socks, and then I'm sure somewhere I have a coordinating skein that I could do for heels and toes, maybe a little bit of the cuff, so that I could have a full pair of traditional socks for me, and then a pair of clog socks. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. But isn't that beautiful? I'm really excited. And then I also fell in love with this skein. This one is called Starlight, and it's in the Spark sock, which is just under 440 yards. And the colors reminded me of, you know, a 1930s tinsel tree type of Christmas. And so it's got gold and teal, gray and black, and this really pretty rose red. And so I'm gonna knit myself some Christmas socks, which I'm excited about. So these will be cast on for next time for sure. I kind of have a fail. I wanted to get some spinning done by the time I recorded next, and I did bring my Hanson e-spinner up to the lake over Thanksgiving vacation. Our family went up to my parents' new retirement home on the lake in New Hampshire, and I mostly worked on my sweater and my socks, and I didn't take my wheel out at all. We were spending a lot of time as a family, not just my nucleus family with my husband and my children, but my parents, my sister, my uncle, and my other set of aunt and uncles. And so there were a lot of people. None of them spin and none of them have seen me spin. I just didn't really want to be stared at for the entire time we were there, which was days. We were there for 3 days. So I ended up just knitting because my aunts knit, my mom knits, my daughter knits, and so it wasn't so weird for me to be doing that rather than to be spinning, which I'll have to break them in eventually. I just didn't feel like spending what little downtime I have this time of year having to explain what I was doing and why, which I know is silly and I need to just get over it. So I'm definitely going to spin before I record next. I'm going to finish up the, I think I have Miracle Jen on my e-spinner, and then I have some Hello Yarn, I believe, on my Sidekick. So I'd like to get both of those not only spun singles, but also plied. So that's a lot to do in a week. Finish a sweater, finish a pair of socks, cast on another pair of socks, and finish 2 skeins of yarn on my spinning wheels. So I'll have to be really mindful about how I'm spending my downtime. So thanks for joining me. I will definitely be recording again in the next 7 to 10 days. You can check me out and follow me on Instagram where I'm Meliabella. You can see my patterns or my projects or any of the information about anything I'm working on, knitting, pattern, needle, or yarn-wise on Ravelry, where I'm also Meliabella. And I also have a Twitter, which I dabble on, not very much, but I do spend a lot of time on Instagram. So you can also see me do live broadcasts there on occasion. And I do also share whatever projects I'm working on through my pictures on Instagram. So I hope you'll follow me and join me there. Don't forget that starting tomorrow, December 1st, I'll be offering free shipping for orders of $15 or more on my Etsy, which is www.meliabella.etsy.com. And that's both for domestic and international shipping. So I hope you'll take advantage of that. So thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you soon.